but a proper homemade pie, I think I can make an exception. Hello. I'm not going to bother with this today because there's not much more I can do. So I've got a bonnet. I can replace the top of that, but that's not really worthwhile making a video of. It's about as exciting as breaking a windscreen with some boiling water. Or I could polish up that headlamp. Can you see? It's a bit dull. But, you know, that's not particularly exciting. Not more exciting than breaking a windscreen with some boiling water. I'm going to have another crack at removing the dent on Eric, because that dent is rather unsightly and that car needs all the help it can get as far as being as tidy as possible. But I want to do it in the sun, so I'm going to have to bring it up here somehow. Plus, of course, I need electricity for the heat gun, and there are no electricities down here. All the electricities are stored up there, so I've got to bring the thing that needs the electricity using on it to where the electricity is kept. You can see there's an awful lot of dirt on this car, which was part of the appeal of it's just dirt. Ooh, the cauldron bubbles with hot water. As you may well know, dent removal is not really my thing, and I've tried it just once the other day. Removing scratches and swirls and stuff like that, yeah, much more like it. So if I can remove this dent, I will be inspired. Yeah, I will, to remove some scratches and make that paintwork, besides that one dodgy looking wing, look much nicer. Let's have a proper close-up look at this first. There are quite a few marks left behind from the glue, and it has got scratches as well, so it's never going to be perfect. The glue not sticking to the tool. Beforehand it was going very much the other way around, it was sticking to it a little bit too well. Let's try again. Each time I do this, it just pulls it ever so slightly more until it just pops off. So, is it a matter of perseverance? Just sticking with it, and eventually it will straighten itself out. Look, see? That looks quite good actually. Ah, they've got pop off. It's definitely reducing. In the full sunlight there, you can still see it rather well. Another go. Whilst that's drying out a little bit, let me share a thought with you. Last night I saw Sean Connery on being interviewed on something, and it just got me thinking about Rovers and how he would have suited a Rover P5B. So I did a post on my Facebook page, and I just think that maybe people missed the point ever so slightly. Sean Connery, P5B. Roger Moore, P6. The Dalton, was it him next? Yeah, SD1. And then Piers Brosnan, Rover 827. And then, of course, we have Daniel Craig, by which point Rover were just not really cool. I mean, they are, but they weren't really cool in the same way that they used to have been. So you just couldn't possibly imagine Daniel Craig driving a Rover 75, even a connoisseur model. But John Nettles did in Midsummer Murders. So for James Bond to have been driving a Rover 75, he would have had to have been played by John Nettles. That's simply it. Maybe he knew what I meant, maybe he didn't. But I didn't get the impression that many people did. And it's pulling a bit further out. So far, this may not seem like the most exciting video, And you may even be telling yourself, this isn't the most exciting video I've ever seen. But just you wait. Wait till I've finished. Then you'll discover it was worth the wait. It's been a weird couple of days actually, so maybe that's a good thing, because there's plenty of things to talk about whilst pulling dents. But last night, or this morning, about 2:30, my phone was ringing, and it was a private number. I'm not going to answer a private number. If it was somebody I know phoning up at that time, I think, oh, that's unusual. Something must be a bit strange going on. I best answer that. But I didn't, and I just switched it on silent. And then, this morning, I woke up and found 3 missed calls from the same, well, presumably, private number. So, is it any of you lot? Is anyone playing a joke on me or what? Yeah? Oh, that's pulling it quite a long way this time. It's not pulling it too far. I washed Nigel yesterday. Do you know why? You don't, but you will do in a second. I washed Nigel so I could take him out without feeling embarrassed about the amount of dirt on it. So I could visit an MOT station. An MOT station suitable for Class 7 vehicles. I could have just taken Eric, but I took that. I got it booked in, took it along, and it's failed. It's failed. It needs quite a bit of welding doing on it. So there we go. There's another little story for you. There we go. Another. It is looking marginally better. Oh, leg roll. One thing going on here at the moment is a problem indeed. You see, at PNBF, there's kind of becoming a shortage of space. I've actually used up all of the spaces that I'm allowed to have, and a bit more, and there is simply no more space, which means I need to get some cars shifted quickly. Look, it's still definitely there. That's the one I really want to get rid of. That's the one that really catches my eye. It's got glue all over it. This is about the 10th attempt today. 10th time I've stuck that thing on there today. I must like this idea. I suppose it's just nicer than getting my hands properly mucky. Good news, and a rather unexpected, very generous good news, from a man called Pingu Concord, which is a rather unusual name actually. It's imagine being called that. Now, on my live stream on Tuesday, I happened to mention that it's such a shame that so many Rovers are going to scrap because of small issues, and that very often they come my way in messages, etc., and I can't take them on because I don't have the money at the time. And this chap is offering to kind of invest in Project Nigel. I don't think I should tell you the exact details, but maybe you know what they are. So a bit of discretion I won't do. No, it kind of seems a bit rude. Unless he wants me to tell you all about the deal, I'm not going to. 11. Moved it back into the sunlight. Oh, somewhere else where there's some sunlight anyway. And now onto a subject of the future, and something rather concerning. You see, this land here, known as Project Nigel Headquarters, is a name I've given it, but it's not mine. You already know it's not mine, don't you? You know it's not mine because I have this space here which is full, yet there is space over here which is empty, full of containers, and there is space over here which just has transit facing, and then there's all this other space around which isn't used by me. So there's a fairly good clue. If this was my land, I'd have no need for a great big skip or carpet fitters coming in, dropping nails everywhere. So, and there's one down there. Just think, imagine if that space there was mine, where they used to have a fire, and all the way along here, all the way along. Imagine how many cars could be parked up here, either waiting for repairs or just being stored or having minor jobs done on them, or just waiting to be sold. And the same goes for that area there with all those containers. So I reckon I've convinced you by now that I don't own this land. Okay, that's the first part. The second part is that the man who does own this land is considering selling up for his retirement. Considering. He's mentioned it a few times to me. He said if he could get £500,000 for this land here, he'd sell it and he'd be on his way. But at some point, probably somebody's going to give him that, because it is quite a big patch of land. You imagine how many houses could be fit in here. What a waste. Just building houses where cars could be messed about with. I mean, that's just that's so uninspiring, isn't it? With my 3,573 subscribers I currently have, I currently earn enough money from video adverts to pay for my car insurance, my trader's policy, which is £180 a month. There we go. There's some actual disclosure for you. Me admitting I make some money out of these videos. If that was 100-fold, not 5, that would be possibly 100 times the income. And then we could be getting close to the idea of me actually taking a loan out so I could buy this land. What an exciting future. If only it was as simple as just suddenly, you know, another 350,000 subscribers could just pop up. Anyway, we're talking about a long way into the future, which is handy because we might be talking about a long way into the future before he sells this land up. About 2 years, in fact. Being extra careful with this one, to take my time. Maybe that's what's needed, really. I feel like, whilst I'm at it, what if I buffed a sample of this paint so you can see how well it will come up? Get rid of all those swirly bits there. Gosh, it really doesn't take much. Can you see that there? It's still swirly, but it's properly starting to pop. So you may remember, if you was watching, the story of Eric so far, where it came from. What am I doing with it? Is it mine? Yes, it is now, actually. A chap last week came down here with this car out of the blue, asked if I wanted to buy it. I'd seen the car before. I brought this car here once when a couple of the wheels got bursted up on the curb. So I was very interested, and he kind of gave me no choice but to buy it. He was determined. He was a very good chap. Since then, Pingu Concord has actually put the money forward so I can take this car in straight away without having to, I don't know, sell something unnecessarily or go begging or sell my body on the streets or any other the kind of examples that you might be trying not to think of. And the plan is keep it for next month, tidy it up, then flog it on. In the meantime, the chap that brought the car down has been watching the videos, and he works at a bakery in Uppermill, and he got them watching the videos as well, and they very kindly sent over a load of bread and a pie. I've not eaten a pie for ages, and I just ate this pie last night while I was here, and it was absolutely lovely. And the same goes for the bread. 8 bread rolls. They made really nice sandwiches, and the only thing I've got left now is this bag. So there we go. There's a bit of sneaky advertising for the bakery for being so good as to give me some food. Thank you. More of that kind of thing, please. Look, that top one's almost disappeared. Almost. And then there's that one there to do that, and then there's a bit more there. Will I actually succeed in something today? Oh, I've come off a bit early. How long did you think it was going to take before I started doing this? Yeah, I may as well make the worst door look the best. That's some of the black hole stuff put on, the wax, and then I'll leave it at that for the day and then let you decide whether it was worthwhile me doing or not. In just one moment I'm going to remove the wax from that door and we'll see something that really stands out on a dirty car. It's shiny, but it's still a little bit ripply, but nowhere near as bad as it was. Right, well, now I've removed, finished with my dent removal kit thing. I don't know what I've done with it. Oh, how can I lose something like that? Oh, it's there, right. Time to go. Not going home just yet. There's another thing I need to do. I'm going to have to go and buy some oil. I just checked the oil on this and it is just a bit low. It's still a good idea having low oil, is it? No, it's not. You should have the correct amount of oil. You shouldn't have too much and you shouldn't have too little. The word "too" is the clue to the problem. So I have to buy some before problems are created further. 201 miles covered in this car so far, and I want to make sure it's good for many more of those. And speaking of mileage covered, another story, this time from yesterday. My friend Carl Davis turned up to buy a parcel shelf. He come all the way from Stoke for a parcel shelf. I thought that's quite a long way, but he said, oh, I'm going to buy some wheels as well. And then he didn't buy the wheels, so he's come all the way for a parcel shelf. That strikes me as being a bit obsessive. And he brought me some beer, so it was worthwhile, obviously. There's the running man. It feels like every traffic light in Rochdale is timed to be on red when you get there. Why is he parked there? What a stupid place to park your BMW minicab. If you like yellow walls, come to Rochdale.